Hello, everybody, and welcome to a look at Coffee Talk. Coffee Talk was released a few days ago on Steam. It's about €10, and it's kind of a visual novel adventure game in a sense, with this pixel art style. I've been playing it for a few hours or so, and there's a lot of text. The entire base of the story I can show you. We can start it up. Is that you run a midnight coffee shop in this world. I was about to say in this world of Seattle, but in Seattle, and the world is kind of this fantasy landscape. I'll show you. There's also, before we get into it, there's an endless mode, but yeah, we can get into that. That's more, there is gameplay more than just clicking through dialogue. There's a lot of dialogue, but there is some, gameplay elements to it, which is the coffee making, or drink making rather, because there's tea and nice things like that as well. But it's Seattle, 2020, a city filled with dreams and madness. A time when the Great War between races but a footnote in history. A time when anyone can dream of being whatever they want to be, and have those dreams crushed before they can even be discussed. But still, it is a blazing time where anything can happen. So yeah, it's, there are humans and elves and succubi and dwarves and orcs, like all of these things. I think I met a werewolf and a vampire, and they'd signed a truce or something. So definitely, it's a fancy game with weird, fun characters that you talk to. I feel like the main character can kind of be a dick sometimes, and you don't really... There's no, dialogue options. You're just reading a story with these breaks in between where you make drinks. And it starts off rather simple, I'll show you here, but the first thing you make for, your best customer, or the one that visits every night, wants a triple espresso, which is coffee, and coffee. I'll show you the interface. It'll be up in a moment. It's when it starts out, could I please have a drink with coffee and milk and tea? But then they will start being a bit more puzzly. So you have to think a little bit for yourself, but so far it's not been very difficult. But there's a very large recipe book. We'll see it in a minute here, on Tuesday, September 22nd, 2020. So this is the basic layout of the game. You're at this bar, and here's Freya. Can turn on auto if I forget. And she asks how the night has been going, and it's calm as usual. You have your phone. This is the social network thing, so you can see people you've met. And she's born on the 29th of January. She writes stuff, and it can kind of give you tips on people, what they like and dislike. But usually what I've found is that you become better friends by giving them good drinks and things like that. I haven't tried giving anyone a bad drink yet. We'll definitely try that here. And you have your brew pad, which is the recipe book. So you have a few of them starting out. I feel like I think these are just named recipes, because I've definitely done coffee with milk, but it did not show up in the recipe book. So I guess it's just for recipes with unique names. This seems to be some story thing that I haven't seen any progress in yet, but it's something to do with Freya. And you can select your music. It's a phone. It does phone things. And yeah, the story, because I think there's 10 or something different ingredients you can use, but you don't start with all of them because of a logistical error. So when you start out, it's just coffee and chocolate and tea, I think. Milk, and you can draw. Let's see if we can screw up Freya's order here. Freya's story, of course, is that she is a writer, and very early on she speaks to one of the managers or higher ups in her publishing company, and gets the offer to write a book. So she kind of wants to write a book about all these people that come through the coffee shop, which is a bit meta, I guess, but I mean, makes sense. The discussion, the dialogue is good, I feel. Sometimes, like I said, I feel like maybe it's a little bit cheesy, like, oh, do people really talk like this? But there's still, like, when she is, when she says, oh, I'm gonna write about people in your coffee shop, it's very much, you know, people, isn't that like an invasion of privacy, and have a long discussion about it. So it's smart in a way. I'm not gonna go too much into it, because, I mean, this, on the right screen here, that's how you make coffee and brews, and that's one small part of the game. The big thing is just talking and reading and listening to these stories, so I feel like the less I reveal, you know, if I reveal everything it's about, then why maybe playing the game isn't as interesting. Because while this is kind of fun, like making the drinks, it's, you know, it's not a lot of what you will be doing, at least so far, because maybe like at the most I've had 4 people in the bar. There's no timer, there's nothing, so it's just this puzzly thing. They drink and then they talk more. So if you're looking at a game was like, oh, I really want to churn out coffee and make it, this is probably not it. Even though there are those endless modes where you get to just do this thing on the right hand side here of the screen all the time. One is free mode, so you can just experiment and do whatever. One is a challenge mode where you will actually get customers that say, hey, I want this, and there's a timer going and you get time bonuses by finishing drinks. So she really is a triple shot espresso, so what I'm going to give her is green tea, milk, and milk. We're going to brew that. And one thing I found, because then you get this. They're like, oh, do you want to trash it because you haven't made what? And this is important when people aren't as upfront with what they want, because then you can say, oh, okay, did I really make the thing they wanted? And if you don't, then you can just trash it. We can do that 5 times each night. And then serve it if you're happy, or we can do latte art, which is kind of cool. Just pour milk in. Like, we need lots of milk here. And a little bit of that, and we can just... And then, of course, etch in it, so we can do like a little thing. Looks like a succubus, maybe. A little demon. Ooh, spooky ghost. What is this? It's a masterpiece. And then we serve it, and let's see what she says, because I haven't tried this before. Hey, this isn't coffee. Oh, well. Does she... Okay, so... I'm not sure if anything changed, really, except for her saying, this is not what I wanted. Perhaps because it's Freya, or, you know, a friend, someone... She seems to be the punching bag of the story. Everyone makes fun of Freya. And maybe that's why she accepts me not giving her a triple shot of espresso, but this green tea mess. So really, this kind of is the game. I can show you some of the later things, but the only thing that changes is that you'll get more ingredients, you'll get other people to speak to, the stories will develop a little bit, like Freya's there, as far as I know, every night, so she's kind of the one you always have this back and forth with. But yeah, it's rather simple, but it's charming. It's just cozy. And I really like the art style. It did remind me a little bit about Papers, Please, with the entire design choices and everything. Papers, Please, of course, has more gameplay and stuff like that. Who knows? Maybe this game will bring more of these things in later on. But as far as I've been playing, I was just talking and sometimes making coffee, which hasn't been all too complicated. Yeah, I don't think there's too much more to show unless you want to read some of the story. But I feel like I said, since the story and that's a big part of what this game is, and there are no, as far as I've seen, fun dialogue choices or anything. It's really reading and experiencing the story. The less you see of the story, the better. And it's not been anything, you know, like, oh, incredible, but it's calm in a way. There's nothing too dramatical about it all. It's just these people have problems, and you give them coffee and listen to them, and listen to them talk to each other and try to help each other out. And yeah, that's kind of coffee talk. There's not too much else to say. I'm definitely gonna keep on playing it because I want to see where it goes. Have no idea how long it is, but I hope it doesn't, like, the danger with some of these games that they go far too long, and that they keep it into a sweet, nice package. I think that'll do them really well. Anyways, I hope if you've been curious, reading along to what Freya and the barista have been saying, because this is kind of their little back and forth stuff. And if it's interesting to you, it's on Steam. It's, I believe, just below, maybe it's €9 now for the new release sale, but then I think it's about 10, 11 euros or something when it's full price. I don't think it's on any other platform. If it is, I haven't seen it. But yeah, on Steam, €9. If this looks interesting to you, just reading this story, then definitely go check it out. But don't expect a lot of coffee making, because it doesn't seem to be about that, you know, cook, serve, delicious, get coffee here that quick. It's just a little puzzle element to break away from the story now and again. Alright then. See you guys later. And go have some nice coffee.